As I mentioned, it's election season, so we have COVID popping back up, the what I call the election variant. The Biden administration announced today that it is providing $600 million in funding to produce new at-home COVID tests, and it's restarting its website to scare people that COVID's coming. Watch it. I'm telling you, this is going to be ramped up. Well, speaking of viruses, I shouldn't say that. Attorney General Merrick Garland appeared before the House Judiciary Committee today, his first appearance before the committee since Special Counsel Jack Smith brought criminal charges against former President Donald Trump. The Attorney General faced questions regarding a wide range of topics, including handling of the Hunter Biden investigation and whether his department has fostered a two-tiered justice system. Now, he says no, but the American people, at least half of them, say he has. Joining me now to discuss this, as well as the latest in the budget negotiations, is Congressman Andy Biggs. He serves on the House Judiciary Committee and the House Committee on Oversight and Accountability. He represents the 5th Congressional District of Arizona. Congressman Biggs, welcome back to Washington Watch. Great to have you on.
Thanks, Tony. Good to be with you.
So give me your take today on the Attorney General. What I watched a good part of it. He seemed awful evasive in refusing to answer some what I thought were pretty simple, straightforward questions.
He was in incredibly evasive mood today. He didn't want to answer anything, and basically, it was like trying to pull teeth, right? I mean, so we had some great questioning by different members. I thought Massey was pretty effective showing his failure and his own hypocrisy. I thought Gates did a pretty good job. I thought Jordan and a number of people did a really good job getting at everything from the two-tiered system, the disparate treatment of people, the Weiss issue, and ultimately my questioning's focused on how can you say that you don't know the answers to these questions because Weiss is so independent, and yet you're providing answers, and you say that this happened before your tenure. So you can't have it both ways, because if it happened under a previous tenure, then you really wouldn't know anything, and yet you're giving us answers, and you wouldn't even know that it happened. So I think we exposed him in many ways to be less than forthright, and in my opinion, his reputation for veracity took another big hit today.
So, Andy, one of the charges regarding the Hunter Biden was the gun charges. He was using drugs and had a gun, lied on the forms. The questions were asked about why did it take so long to actually bring charges against him, since this is pretty straightforward. But it appears that there were either obstacles in the way or they were dragging their feet. They wouldn't do this on a normal American. I mean, look how quickly they have arrested pro-lifers and put them in jail for standing out front of an abortion clinic.
That's exactly right, Tony. And we were trying to get at that today. And that was the point of ultimately of my questioning, is he was saying, well, gee, that was Mr. Weiss's decision. He was the prosecutor in charge. He had all the authority. He could do whatever he wanted, and I just took a hands-off approach. And yet, when you asked him, I asked him a question about, a certain event with an U.S. attorney going to the court and providing information. He was able to tell us exactly what the court wanted, exactly how that was responded to, and the same in multiple instances. And that's the point. It looks so much like they dragged their feet to basically get past statute of limitations, allow them to run in a number of cases, the 14 and 15 tax fraud cases. And then on this rather simple case, they did nothing until when we announced that we're going to open up an impeachment inquiry, then those charges come. This is all indicia that this is politically motivated on the part of the Attorney General.
Just trying to run the clock out till the statute of limitations is over, then he walks scot-free. I believe, as you mentioned, you were asking questions about this two-tiered justice system, and a lot of this focused on the FACE Act, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, which was back in the Clinton era to protect abortion clinics. You were zeroing in on the fact that they're targeting pro-life individuals. What did he have to say to that?
Well, his whole position, that wasn't the main focus of mine, but several of us actually kind of skirted it, and one or two got to the heart of it. His position is always hands off, that they're treating everybody the same, regardless of how much evidence there is undermining that argument. His argument is always, oh yeah, we're just beautiful. This is the land of Oz. Everybody gets treated beautifully and the same, until you start pointing out facts, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, that was somebody else, or I'm not in charge of that. I've delegated that to the local U.S. attorney. He refuses to really cover that stuff.
It's going to be interesting when the curtain gets pulled back, which I assume in these impeachment hearings we're going to take a peek behind the curtain.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, Tony, so next week we open up our impeachment inquiry. You're going to see some more information that comes out. It won't happen in that first hearing necessarily, because that's the groundwork hearing. But we are subpoenaing everything from Hunter Biden and Joe Biden's bank accounts. Why? Because that's where the money laundering was taking place, and that'll be good evidence to have.
We look forward to talking to you about it when you get it. Congressman, always great to see you. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much, Tony.